Man, call yourself radical and commit crimes on sabbatical. What's good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to the story mode. So, with this recent official gameplay reveal of Pokemon Legends ZA, they have given us a lot of things to consider. We got a glimpse of the city that we're going to be exploring, the characters that we're going to be interacting with on our journey. We even got a glimpse of what the Pokemon battles are going to look like as well. However, what they didn't give us too much of was any indication of what the story or what the progression was going to look like this time around. As we all good and well know by now, with pretty much any mainline Pokemon game, we usually follow the same general rules. Train up your 6 Pokemon of choice so that you can take on the 8 gym leaders of the region, eventually the Elite Four, and lastly, the champion. Within the last couple of years, there's obviously been a couple of tweaks to that formula, but for the most part, it's generally still the same. That is, until it comes to Legends games, apparently. In the specific case of Pokemon Legends Arceus, they had to do something a little different because the game took place in the past. Pokemon battling didn't become a sport yet because people were still working on just learning how to trust Pokemon. So naturally, the only way to progress in the game was by proving yourself useful to the Galaxy Guild and learning as much as you possibly could about Pokemon by filling out the Professor's Pokedex, a brand new concept at the time. The more Pokemon that we battled and caught on the field accumulated to more points that we would earn when we visited the guild again. The more points we gained, the higher our rank. The higher our rank, the more things we got access to, like new Pokeballs, new recipes. And of course, as one of Pokemon's primary staples, we gained access to higher level Pokemon. Yeah, sure, we weren't doing things the traditional way by battling through gym leaders to get shiny pins to show off our rank. However, we still had plenty of reason to go out into the field, learn about all these Pokemon, get as strong as we could, and rank up as high as possible. And that was super unique. So we figured, okay, well, with the announcement of this new Legends game, surely we'll be doing something very similar. They may as well have reached directly into my ear, grabbed the thought out of my head, and chucked it out the farthest window. Because based on what we've seen, I have absolutely no reason to believe that we'll be doing anything that similar. Now you see, this game is very clearly a modern title, which means that Pokemon battling is still very much part of the culture now. This is basically a sequel to X and Y. Not only that though, they are working so hard to build up even more trust between people and Pokemon that they set up wild zones inside the city of Lumiose. Quizartico Inc. or whatever wants people and Pokemon living side by side, hand in hand. So, with all of that being laid out, you and I have the exact same question here. What in the world is the progression system going to be this time around? I've laid out a couple of theories here that are structured as questions, so we're gonna talk about all of that right now. With all that being said, the plan is now in hand, so why don't you go ahead, chill out, kick back with a nice cool glass of wine, and may I recommend a hearty meal? Why don't you go ahead, warm up a little cup of butter or something like that, and slather that on your now freshly cooked raccoon meat, while we talk about what the possibility of the progression system could be in Pokemon Legends ZA. So to kick things off here, I have question number 1. Are gyms going to be present in this game? Can't speak for everybody here, but personally, I believe that's not the case. The primary reason I believe this is because the gym challenge is a region-wide thing. It doesn't take place in just one area. One of the primary purposes of the gym challenge is to get trainers out of their comfort zone. It's to get them to interact with trainers that you wouldn't find in just one town, to get them to find Pokemon that isn't just in one little wild area. You're incentivized to go out and learn about the world, people, and Pokemon alike so that you can utilize that knowledge to become stronger. We've known for the better part of a year now that the entirety of Pokemon Legends ZA takes place solely within Lumiose City. This being a modern Pokemon title, we already know that there's gyms outside of Lumiose City. But we're not going out there, we're staying here. So no, I don't think that they set up an entirely separate gym challenge that takes place solely within the city. That just wouldn't make a lot of sense at all. Outside of lore purposes though, I don't think they are gonna do something that the mainline games already do plenty of. We already good and well know that by like late next year or something along those lines, we're most likely gonna have Generation 10. It's in that game where we're gonna have a brand new gym challenge that takes us all over the region and things like that. We don't need another gym challenge in a game that takes place in a region that we already good and well know like the back of our hands already. It just seems really redundant to do something like that in an experimental title like Legends. We're gonna talk more about this very soon, but the entire point of the Legends series is for the developers to have something of a playground. Somewhere where they can safely test out new ideas, new gameplay mechanics, new systems, a lot of things that the mainline games aren't allowed to change at all. So long and short here, I just highly doubt that they feel like doing Generation 6 with Generation 9 graphics all over again. That just seems not fun for anybody. However, there are a lot of trainers present in Lumio City. I mean, again, it's a big city in the world of Pokemon. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of trainers here, but the fact that there's going to be a lot of battling going on in and outside of the wild areas, yeah, I can't really ignore that. I do have a theory as to what is going on, but I'll save that for a little bit later. I do, however, fully believe that the trainers that are present in Lumio City are participating in something. More on this in a bit. The next question on my mind is actually in relation to the gates that lead to the wild zones in the city. What in the world are those numbers about? Now, at first glance, you would obviously come to the conclusion that these are numbers that just signify what wild area you're walking into. Each of these areas are going to contain different Pokemon, different environments, probably different quests to involve yourself in, and things along those lines. But here's my problem. Those virtual gates have the gym statues in them. We have seen at least up to 8 of those areas, and they all look exactly the same except for the numbers that are in front. Why is that the case? The statues that are designed there lead me to believe that while these are wild areas that you can come and go from to catch Pokemon, battle wild Pokemon, and even probably battle some trainers, there's more to them than that. My initial guess is that we probably won't be able to enter these areas until we reach that level or something like that as a trainer. Again, I'm not really entirely sure, but that feels a little on the flimsy side as far as a guess goes because we have Sandiles roaming around in Area 6. Why can't I just go out and get a Sandile? That doesn't seem all that crazy. I shouldn't need to be super high leveled for that. But who knows? Maybe it's just coincidence that we only saw up to 8. This is supposed to be a really big city. Surely there's more than 8 areas to go through, especially because that first wild area didn't seem all that huge. And why use the gym statues? Maybe they're not even gym statues. Maybe it's just like some form of challenge statues. Maybe that's what they're trying to establish here. I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was just a fun design choice. Maybe we're reading into it too much, but I don't know. I feel like they made that decision for a reason. Now, I do have a theory here, and this next question is what's going to lead into that. What in the hell was that promotional match notification that we got on our Rotom phone at the end of the trailer? From what I've seen, me and plenty of others did not understand what that was supposed to be. It wasn't until I did my frame by frame analysis on the trailer that I got an idea of what that could have been. Now, based on the little information we have to go off of, I think we're finally getting that point system that I was talking about a little while ago from the anime. Now, usually across video games, when you hear the term promotional match, it means that if you win your next match, you get promoted, usually to the next rank. Now, of course, when it comes to the main casual side of Pokemon, that term means absolutely nothing because we never go based off of promotional matches or anything like that to rank up. We always had the badge system. However, in this modern title that we don't have a badge system in, most likely, this is probably their next best idea. My thought process here is that they are implementing this new fun style of battling. I feel like this is the case because unlike Pokemon Legends Arceus, they really want to put a heavy emphasis on battling trainers this time around. I mean, that's pretty fair, right? You create a brand new battle system completely unfamiliar to the series, of course you're going to want people to interact with it. But in this situation, unlike traditional games where you could choose to avoid a battle and it wouldn't really make that much of a difference, this time around, it's actually more beneficial for you to engage with as many trainers as possible. And then of course, after you've accumulated a certain amount of points, you can utilize those to participate in a promotional match to get your rank up so you can gain access to the next area. And obviously, of course, that comes with the benefits of higher level Pokemon listening to you, probably access to better Pokeballs and items in the shops and yada yada yada, you get the idea. But I mean, come on, that makes plenty of sense, right? You rank up by battling tons of different trainers around every wild area, maybe even outside of the wild areas, and then you gain access to a promotional match. And eventually, you're gonna reach some form of top. What the end game is here, I don't know. I don't think that there's a, regional champion sitting there in Lumio City or anything like that, but there's somebody waiting at the end game, right? Or, I mean, I could be wrong, who knows? Maybe it leads up to a massive tournament and it's just kind of like, oh, the last couple of challengers enter like a big free-for-all, and so now you're dodging multiple attacks from some of the strongest trainers in Lumio City. I'm gonna get myself too hyped up here because this is something that I've been wanting for quite some time. Back in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, whenever you'd be out in the field, trainers were completely optional, and that was really weird to me. A critical component that's been a part of the core games for almost 30 years now, and you're telling me that in our first open world entry into the games, trainer battles aren't mandatory? That was absolutely insane to me. But I feel like this right here, this situation that they're introducing to us, if this is the case, could be the perfect fix to that. In previous titles, it was extremely important for you to engage in mandatory trainer battles because those trainers kind of served as skill checks. Yeah, sure, you didn't need to battle every single trainer in the region or anything like that, but it was a good idea for you to battle a good chunk of them so that you can A, gain a lot of money and experience, and B, see if you were prepared enough to take on the next gym. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's case, they didn't have it so trainers could spot you from afar and hunt you down. You had to find them and seek them out yourself. And it was kind of a problem because there was really no balance. It was super easy to get overpowered because even if you weren't fighting the trainers, you were getting everything that you needed out of raid battles. Now, I highly doubt that raid battles are going to be a thing in Pokemon Legends ZA, so I'm not too worried about that becoming a problem. But if we have this system in place, that means that the trainers are going to be actually doing what they were supposed to be doing again. And that is a perfect system, one that I vastly prefer over what we had in the last couple of generations. And honestly, I gotta admit, the anime just made it look like a lot more fun and a lot more engaging when there were actual points on the line for you to win or lose. So again, if this is the case for Pokemon Legends EA, I'd be very happy with this system in place, and this could be an indicator that they're testing this out for Generation 10. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Now, I have one final question listed here, and that is, will the Pokédex be less involved this time around? We already know good and well that the Pokédex is a thing this time around. It's on our Rotom phone, it's already installed. We saw it firsthand in the trailer when the trainer caught Fletchling and Flaffy that the registered symbol popped up in the middle of the screen. So we are filling out a Pokédex, however, it seems that we aren't filling it out the same way like we were in Legends Arceus. And I gotta be honest with y'all, that's just the teeniest bit upsetting because the Pokédex system that they had in place in that game was so damn addicting. Not only was it way more beneficial to capture multiple of the same Pokemon, we also benefited even more by gaining as many points as possible for our ranks. Going into a brand new zone and seeing all of the new Pokemon available to capture and beat down was such a thrill because there was so much to do. And it is all thanks to that Pokédex system. But again, this is a modern title, which means that the Pokédex system is way more advanced. It doesn't need for us to capture the same exact Pokemon or fight the same exact Pokemon 10 times over to learn every little detail about it. This game carries itself like a sequel, so it would be kind of weird if we had to fill out the Pokédex that depthfully the second time around our time in Kalos. So again, don't get me wrong, we don't necessarily need that, but man, was that so much fun, and I was really looking forward to the possibility of it coming back. But you know what? It is what it is. It's fine. We don't need it. If we're being completely honest, that new battle system looks addicting enough as is, so I'm sure my time will be plenty occupied. That being said though, these are all guesses. Of course, I think it's kind of safe to say that we're probably getting a rank up system of some kind based on the promotional match like teaser that we got at the end there, but again, it's impossible to say until we know. I'm sure we'll figure out something within the next coming months to really figure out exactly what we're going to be doing, but I don't know, it's probably going to be a little while, so hopefully we know sooner than later, but hey, you know what? Maybe that's just me. So that just about does it for this one. Again, let me make it clear that I am super excited for this battle system, and if this progression system is the case, if that's what we're getting, my hype just went through the roof. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game. Oh my goodness, it is giving me exactly what I've been wanting, and I cannot wait to see that. And trust me, we have plenty more stuff to talk about within the next coming weeks, so get those sub boxes ready, keep notifications on. We're gonna be here. Also, just in case you haven't seen it, I don't know when this video is going up, but make sure that you comment on our most recent community post for the next response video. That's gonna be up very soon, so make sure to get your responses in so you don't miss your chance. But again, with that, I think I've said my piece here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic over in your direction, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you think that the progression system is most likely going to end up being a rank up system in which we promote ourselves based on how many trainer battles we've participated in and things like that? Do you think that that's a good system, something solid? Or are you on the opposing side? We're gonna have something very similar to a regular ass gym challenge. We don't need to change up the system, not even in a Legends title, and the formula should stay the same forever. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always gonna be down there with you guys. But with that, yes sir, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone, so thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!